Certainly, as a community of practice and professionals, we have tasted adversity in 2020 at the hands of COVID-19. But we have emerged stronger and more resilient as we were forced to dig deep and devise strategies for survival in this new season. Like most persons, 2020 was going to be a big year for us. Our numerous plans included a new focus on health and safety in the workplace. With our new chairman, Mrs. Claire Lucas, in place, we endeavored to pursue rigorous training for our safety committee to make it the best and most effective on the island. And we kept our promise. At the beginning of the year, early in January, our safety committee chair, Mrs. Claire Lucas, and yours truly, the principal, attended fire safety training at the Barbados Fire Academy. We also invited Mr. Trevor Blackman, Environmental Health Officer from the Department of Labor and an Alinian, to conduct a walkthrough of our premises to evaluate our health and safety practices and report on the extent to which they were aligned with the requirements of his ministry. In February, our safety committee met with Fire Officer Green from the Fire Academy as we continue the process of equipping our members with the knowledge necessary to assist us in maintaining a safe and secure campus for all who work, study, and play here. We were off to a great start. Our good fortunes continued in the area of professional development and capacity building when we received word early in January 2020 that modern languages teacher Ms. Chalita McLean had successfully completed the postgraduate diploma in education secondary program. Ms. Simone Pilgrim, teacher in the business studies department, received a distinction in the postgraduate diploma in education secondary program. And Mr. Damian Morgan, teacher of maths and business, also received a distinction in the postgraduate diploma in education secondary program. Please applaud the success of our teachers. Our school continued to excel in the area of music when on January 17, 2020, our band was invited to play at the country club for the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust. Those who witnessed the performance could not get enough, and soon we were being invited more and more to perform at Sandy Lane and also at Cobbler's Cove. Early in the term, we hosted 3 teachers from 3 primary schools who were participating in the collaborative inquiry of the Diploma in Educational Leadership program. They spent 3 days with us as they evaluated our practices and moved among our colleagues and students to gain an appreciation of our culture. Their reviews were rave, and they spoke in glowing terms of some of the practices which we employ, especially as it relates to communication, student affairs, and of course, discipline. At least one teacher was willing to transfer to secondary school, since what he had heard was vastly different from what he had experienced. Perhaps we should have known that change would have been the order of the day in 2020, when we were forced to find another location for our inter-house sports. Our field was in poor shape, and the officials at the stadium changed our sports date twice. Eventually, our sports were held at the Usain Bolt complex on February 18, 2020, after the stadium was closed for refurbishments. Another positive change did occur on that day. It was the day that our then head boy Shem White and head girl Rhea Green attended the opening session of the 31st Heads of Government Conference as the first students to wear blazers with our brand. That is certainly worthy of your applause. The much-needed regrading of our playing field by the National Sports Council began in February, and we were excited. This was going to be a massive undertaking, which promised to leave our playing field in mint condition. One of the highlights of the year occurred on March 4th, 2020, when our Prime Minister, Mia Amor-Motley, paid a surprise visit to our school, and she spent 3 hours in the company of our senior students discussing their plans for the future. Students were excited and readily volunteered to speak to the Prime Minister about their plans. At the end of the visit, they crowded around the Prime Minister, eager to hear her nuggets of wisdom or just to have a photo opportunity. They were not the only ones wowed by the visit. I remember well the sentiments of a member of the support staff who opined that the Prime Minister's visit was a vote of confidence in our school and certainly in our high-performance culture. Of course, it could be that the Prime Minister knew that she would be extremely safe here. After all, her bodyguard wears a wristband with the famous words, "Alice non sibi," and it is not for show. He actually went to school here. Clap for that. March 13th, 2020, our music students outdid themselves when our pop band performed the tune "Belle Plaine, If You Please" for the first time. The instrumental was arranged by the members of the band. Mr. Moore, their teacher and conductor, thought that it was imperative that the tune debuted here at Allen School in Belle Plaine, no less, since the band was scheduled to play on the following day at the Bridgetown International Arts Festival at the Central Bank. Consequently, we were thrilled at Assembly when they treated us to the piece. I invite you to applaud the members for their creative genius. Now, in case you had trouble keeping up, all of that took place in the first quarter of 2020, a school certainly on the move. Then came lockdown. And for the next 5 or 6 months, a new word rose to prominence, not only in our world, but across the globe: online, only to be outdone by the word device. In short order, and in most cases with little or no training, teachers, parents, and students had to shift, to switch gears and work in a new environment. However, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am happy to report to you that here at the Ali School, we were not caught totally off guard. You see, in 2018, as true leaders, honoring our vision, real lifelong learning, the administration of this school, of which I am very proud to be a part, thought that it would be advantageous to our teachers and certainly our students if we provided training in the Google Suite application. Though we did not make it mandatory, we did provide some training for our teachers, such that when we had to use the Google Classroom during the lockdown, and since then, many of our teachers and students were already au fait with its features. 2 years before we had heard anything about COVID-19, we discussed at length the importance of moving to greater e-learning and e-testing, since CXC had made it clear that all of their examinations will be digitally administered by 2020. It has not been an easy road, but COVID-19 has forced us to dig deep, to find solutions, and we have not cowered nor run away from the challenge. Indeed, we started the term with a program in place for safe reopening, which saw each class being divided into 2 groups, A and B, to ensure that we adhered to the requirements for physical distancing. These groups accessed the physical plant on a rotational basis, with one group coming to school 3 days and the other 2. In an effort to reduce numbers at the canteen, we currently employ a staggered lunchtime, which sees our juniors going to lunch while our seniors are still in classes. And that has been rolled out seamlessly. We have changed how we assemble for prayers, but we have not discarded assembly In fact, we are having more assemblies than before. Our students weary, and I do mean W-E-A-R-Y and W-A-R-Y, of all the changes that were made to examinations at the last minute, changes that they were never prepared for, took their CSEC and CAPE examinations in August. And while we await the reviews from CXC, and we are unable to print the final overall positions as we have done annually in the past, through the hard work and dedication of our teachers, the support of you, parents and guardians, and of course well-wishers, our students still managed to perform well, and in some cases, some of them did very well. I ask you now to applaud them for their efforts. We were adamant, thank you, that we were going to have graduation. And rather than buckle under pressure because we could not have it in July or at the first location as scheduled, we persevered, and our students walked the red carpet in October 2020. We refused to deny our prize winners their moment in the spotlight this year. And that is why we are here today, as you prepare to applaud them for their hard work. I invite you to applaud our teachers who have had to work harder than they ever did to deliver our curriculum while adapting and learning in an environment of rapid and haphazard change. I pause for your applause. I invite you equally to applaud our support staff who worked and continue to work hard to keep our premises clean and well sanitized as we rise to every new challenge. I request your applause for our parents, guardians, and partners who continue to work with us as we endeavor to honor our end of the contract in keeping our students on task and in line. And finally, yes, go ahead. And finally, I simply ask for your heartiest applause as we commend and congratulate all the students who will grace this stage today for their resilience and the success that they were able to achieve under some of the most trying circumstances. The fact that you are here today speaks volumes, and we want to thank you because we understand what it means to parents, guardians, and of course our students to have their efforts recognized. We have truly been surpassing adversity. We have not gotten out of the woods as yet, but we have shown that we are certainly resilient. To my colleagues, thank you for your support and your ever-present commitment to duty. To our students, heartiest congratulations. Thank you, and to all of you, God bless.